Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a soak off and a full set. So I want to start off by saying that I actually did this set while on my break because she called me while she was at the shop trying to get a soak off, and she said that the people didn't know how to do, the soak off. They didn't know what to do because she didn't even have gel polish. She just had colored acrylic. And she said that the people at the nail shop were like, your nails are too thick. Whoever did these nails did them bad, this, and the other. But the thing is, these nails been on for a month. The last time I did her nails were a month ago because you guys know that I had been on a month-long break. But my thing is, if they were bad, like, they would have never lasted a whole month. They would have broke off. So she called me and they're like, what does she do? What can she do to soak them off? And I was like, tell them to cut them down and then file them down and then soak them. That's all. But apparently they couldn't do that, so I ended up telling her to just come in the next day so I can go ahead and soak her nails off, and I did the full set. But it was just so crazy to me how they made her look so bad, because she was like, everyone was staring at her like if she was the one in the wrong, where it was them that didn't know how to do a freaking soak off, because I guess they're so used to just popping off people's nails, with when they use that nail tip and just pop the nails off, which when you do that, it tears off so many layers of your nails, which is why I always recommend that people soak their nails off. So the proper way to soak your nails off is literally by just trimming them down, filing them down, this is what I'm doing now, is just filing the acrylic down. I'm using a coarse drill bit or an extra coarse drill bit to file down the acrylic as much as I can. That way it speeds up the soaking process. I do that on both nails, and I soak them in pure acetone, and you just let them sit there for about 20 to 30 minutes, or maybe even 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how much of the acrylic you filed down, which usually for me is like, I think for the most part it's 15 to 20 minutes, and then the acrylic is soaked off completely. So that's how you soak off acrylic nails. But don't ever go to the shop and let them pop your nails off, or don't pop them off yourself, because it does damage your nail. Okay, so I finished filing down the acrylic on the first hand, so I'm just going in with the pure acetone, filling up my little container, and then I'm going to let her hand just sit in there. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. So again, the proper way to remove acrylic nails is by soaking them off, and what you have to do is just trim the nails down, which the shop had already did that. So I just went ahead and just filed down the acrylic that's on the nail by using an extra coarse drill bit. As you can see, it is a safety one, and I get these from Amazon by Pana, and they work really good, and it just speeds up the process of filing down the acrylic because it's pretty sharp, which is why I get a safety drill bit. That way I don't file down on their natural nail or even their skin or anything, but I just go in and file it down and then soak the nails. Alrighty, so after we soak both hands in the acetone, we can go in with our cuticle pusher. We just push the cuticles back, and then we go in with a fine drill bit to remove the shine from the natural nail. And then after this, we can of course go in and apply the nail tips, but you want to make sure that all of the acrylic is completely soaked off. As you can see, her nails look pretty good. So again, we just go in, remove the shine. Remember that our body produces a lot of oils. Those oils happen to be on our nails, so that's why we have to go in and remove the shine. Again, this is a 180 sanding band. I am using my Scarlet Melody Susie nail drill, which I absolutely love. I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down below in the description. So same thing for the other hand. We just push back the cuticles. Now I'm going in with my 180 sanding band to remove the shine, and then I'll also use this same sanding band to kind of just shape up her nails. That way it just kind of saves me a little bit of time, and I don't have to go in there with the hand file to shape them up. I can just do this with that same drill bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and apply the nail tips. I'm using my clear nail tips, which these were on my website, and the website is currently down for restocking, but it will be up pretty soon. So I'll be sure to post about it on my Instagram ahead of time. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to go follow at GetNailed32 and turn on your notifications so you are notified anytime that I post, so you don't miss out on my website. I'm also using the KDS glue. So the reason why I'm using the clear nail tips is because she's getting, you know, kind of like that what would you call it, the negative space where you can see the clear underneath. And I'm going to be using the colored acrylic, which is going to glow in the dark. So since we want to go for that clear look, that's why I'm using the clear nails. If you were just going to apply, you know, just polish over the nails, you can use the natural nail tips. If you're going to use some sort of, you know, just any type of colored acrylic to where it's going to cover up the entire tip, you could use colored acrylic, or it's just, you know, whatever you prefer to use. But if you are going to do something that requires for you to, you know, have clear on the tip, or if your client wants the nails to be clear, then you just use the clear nail tips. But again, we are just using the KDS glue. We apply it on the nail after we size the nail tip. Remember that you want to make sure that the nail tip fits exactly from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want it to be too big or too small, because they will crack or lift. So we're going to do that on both nails, and then we're going to go in and cut them down and shape them up. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go in with the tip cutter and we're just going to trim down the tip of the nail. We're not cutting down too much. And we're going to make sure that we come back in and size the nail tips against each other to make sure that they're all the correct size. But after doing nails for so long, you can kind of just guesstimate it and you can see, you know, that they're all the right size. But if you are a beginner, I do suggest that you go in and measure them against each other at the end. Now I'm going in with my straight edge nail clipper and we're just cutting down or just trimming the sides of the nails. That way, whenever we start shaping them into a coffin, it doesn't take up too much time. It kind of just saves us some time from having to file so much. Again, we are doing the coffin shape, so for that we're going to be using my 100 nail file to file the nails, and those I had on my website as well as the nail clippers. So again, I will be sure to post about that on my Instagram, so make sure you go and follow me. But now to shape up the nails, we're as always filing the sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. Make sure that you're not tilting your brush over, too much, because then you're not going to get that perfect shape. You want exactly a 90-degree angle going from the side of the nail, which is the nail groove, towards the tip of that nail. And then make sure that you hold your file at a vertical angle when you're filing the free edge, exactly at a 90-degree angle. I promise that I cannot stress that enough, but it's really important if you want to achieve that perfect coffin shape. Also, as you can see, I go in and just blend the nail tip right in the middle. And usually with the clear nail tips, you really can't see the smile line because of course the tip is clear. But for me, it's just kind of like a habit and I do it every time. So I just go in and just gently file where the natural nail and the tip meets to blend in that nail tip. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in and just apply the Young Nail Protein Bond. We're only applying that on the natural nail. You want to make sure that you do not get it on the skin, because if you do and they have any little cut, it will burn them really bad. And also remember that you can use whatever primer you want. I just happen to use the Young Nail Protein Bond because, you know, I had heard a lot of good things about it. But if you want to just use the same primer as your acrylic, that is completely fine, because remember that lifting could come from a number of things, whether it's you not prepping the nail correctly, you not applying the right size tips, or you not, you know, following around the cuticle area at the end correctly. So again, just use any type of primer. But as you can see, now I'm just pouring in my monomer. As you can see, I did pour in a little bit of acetone because, as I mentioned in my previous video, the Mia Secret, it's a little bit on the runnier side. So if you add a little bit of acetone in there, you know, it just makes it dry a little bit faster and it's not as runny. And for my acrylic, of course, I'm using my Mia Secret acrylic system in the color pink, and I'm also using my frosted pink, which is like an off-white color. And then I'm also using some little gold flakes. As you can see, these are really easy to cut apart, so you just literally use like your fingertips and it just kind of breaks apart, and just cut it up into little tiny pieces. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I've done this set on myself. It's actually what I have on my nails in this video. So you've probably already watched this process, but I know I had people requesting that I do it again. So what I do is I just do a small bead of acrylic over the entire nail, and this is the Mia Secret Pink acrylic. That way, if she wants to come in next time and get something completely different, we can just file away that frosted pink in the flakes, and she'll still have the Mia Secret pink underneath. The reason why I like to do that is because I know that there's a lot of people out there that when they do colored acrylic, they don't do the clear underneath or the pink underneath, whatever colored acrylic they use. So then whenever the client wants something new, they have to do a whole new set. And I just feel like it's not good for your nails, because you're having to go in and, you know, remove the shine from your nail each time. And it's a lot of filing on your nails. So it's better for you to just, you know, do the bead of underneath and then apply your colored acrylic. Again, next time, you know, you can just file it away and you won't have to, you know, do all that extra work. Anyways, as you can see, we applied the frosted pink. We just kind of did it randomly on the nail, and then we kind of outline it with the little pieces of gold foil, and then we're just going in and encapsulating it with the Mia Secret pink. Or of course you can use your clear. I know you guys probably get tired of me using the pink all the time, but I have a lot of it, so I just like to use it. And it is pretty translucent once you apply the top coat on everything, so you can't really tell that it's pink because it's really translucent. But we're basically going to do the same thing on all of the nails except for the pinkies. We're going to bling them out, so I'm just going to use the Mia Secret pink on the two pinkies. But for the rest of the nails, we're just going to do the same as this one. The only thing is that we're going to switch up where the frosted pink is. We're going to do it on different spots, you know, maybe going from one corner to the other, or in the middle. It's all going to be different. Also remember that when you're applying your acrylic, make sure that you look at the nail from different angles. You want to make sure that you have a nice apex and a good thickness at your tip. That way your nails do not break off super easily. Here's a closer look. I just wanted you to see, you know, how I grab my beads when I'm working. But now I'm gonna do the same thing. So just apply the bead of the Mia Secret pink, then we're gonna go in with the Mia Secret frosted pink. As you can see, make sure that you get a little bit at a time. That way you don't have a big lump of the frosted pink in the middle. You just want to get a little bit and then come in and just outline it with the foil. Remember, your foil can be, you know, different sizes. You're not gonna ever be able to cut it into the same size, so, you know, having a different sizes is completely fine. Once we outline the frosted pink, then we're going to go in and just encapsulate this with the Mia Secret pink. If you don't know, the reason why you have to go in and encapsulate your nails is because, of course, if we just left them like this, for one, it's going to be too thin, and for two, we're going to, if we come back to file, we'll be filing away that colored acrylic and the foil. So you always want to make sure that you encapsulate your nails, and all that means is just going in with either clear, or again, I like to use the pink, and we just apply that acrylic over what we just did. So yeah, it's going to be the same process over and over again. Remember that you want to make sure that you build the apex when you're working. You don't want your nails to be too thin or too thick. You want them to, have a nice apex and a nice thickness at your tip, especially when they're longer, because then they'll break off super easily. So again, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure that you look at your nail from different angles. Also, make sure that if you get any product around the skin, that you wipe it off immediately, because if not, it is going to cause lifting, because it's going to be hard to remove from around the cuticle area. Also, the way to, I know I get a lot of people always asking me, like, how do you not get acrylic on the skin? Well, when you apply the bead around the cuticle area, like close to the cuticle area, place it as close as you can to the cuticle area, but not on the actual skin, because that's when, it's really hard to take off. And then I always still go back in with the very tip of my brush and just wipe around that area. That way, in case I did get any product on there, it'll come off, right away, before it dries. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch, because it's going to be the same process over and over again. Alrighty, y'all, so we're on the other hand. So again, for the pinkies, we're just gonna do them all with the Mia Secret Pink because I am gonna bling them out. So there's no point of us doing the frosted pink with the foil on there if we're gonna cover it up. So for this, remember, you just apply the first bead right in the middle where the natural nail and the tip meet, placing the other one next right below it, again brushing it down towards the tip. Make sure that when you're brushing your acrylic that you're really gentle because you don't want to brush the product off the nail. And then also just apply acrylic wherever it's needed, but just make sure that you look at the nail from different angles. That way you know exactly where you need to apply more acrylic at. Alrighty, so we finished applying the acrylic. So now we're going to go in with our 100 nail file and we're going to be reshaping the nails. Of course, they're already that coffin shape that we want, but after you apply the acrylic, it kind of takes away from your shape. So we just have to go in there and perfect the shape that we already have. So same thing, following the sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. And we're going to do that on all of the nails. Alrighty, so next we're going in with a fine drill bit. We're following around the cuticle area, always focusing around there first. So we go from the right side all the way over to the left side, just going back and forth until we're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way we know that the acrylic is not on the skin. As you can see on this ring finger, you're not able to see all of those three things. So we just have to go in there and keep going over and over and over again until you're able to see those three things. As you can see, I accidentally cut her. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up in a second. And when that happens, you know, it's really not much you can do, but of course, apologize, just clean it up and, you know, just keep going. So, you know, just be careful. But again, we're just doing the same thing over and over again. Remember that when you're going around the cuticle area, this is something that's going to be a bit hard for you to finally achieve. It takes a lot of practice, especially as a beginner, because you're scared to go around that cuticle area because you're scared that you're going to cut them. But again, the only way to get better is by practicing. As you can see, even though I've been doing those for a really long time, you know, things happen, and you know, sometimes you will accidentally cut your clients, but it's okay, you know, no biggie. You just clean it up and keep it moving. But anyways, you're going to go ahead and continue filing all of the other nails. Also remember that you want to make sure that you file the entire nail once you've sealed the cuticle area. That way all of the nails are nice and smooth. So after we filed all of the nails, we're going to go in with a buffer and we're just going to buff the nails really good. And this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail from the e-file or the hand file. So make sure that you buff them really good. And then I also, as you can see, go in with my thumb and just rub it over the top of the nail to just feel on it. And if I feel like it's still a little bit rough, then of course I go in and just buff a little bit more. But you want to make sure that you do go back in and just check each nail just to be safe, because if not, you will be able to see any of those scratches through your polish if you apply any, or even through your top coat. Alrighty, so I dust the nails off and then I wipe them off with an alcohol wipe. And now I'm just going in with this Color Club polish and the color Harp on it, which is the holographic silver polish that I use as a base for my bling. I'm going to go ahead and apply that on both of the pinkies. And then I'm going to go in with my ZULAY nail adhesive, which is what I use to apply my bling. I'm using my SS6 and my SS12, which will be on my website again once I restock, as well as the wax pencils. And as always, whenever I'm applying my bling, I just alternate between the two different sizes. I start right in the middle, work my way around the perimeter of the nail, and just fill in the entire nail. Nice and simple. You can do it however you want, but for me, this is just a habit, and I just always start in the middle and work my way around the nail and fill in the rest as I go. Alright, so now I'm going to go in and just outline the bling with the glue, and then I'm going to spray them with the Mia Secret Gel Resin Activator, which is going to help that glue dry a lot faster. And then I'm going to go in with the Madam Glam Gel Top Coat, and I'm going to apply that on the rest of the nails. And then we're going to cure this hand for 60 seconds, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other hand. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty, and that shape is just everything. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNoDirty2, and I'll see you guys next time.